Hi, everyone. I'm Peter Reynolds, and welcome to Pros and Conversations, the podcast that explores what it takes to be successful, whether you're from the world of business, science, or the arts. Today, I'm joined by Damon Adachi, and he is a marketing consultant with Sevenfold Marketing. How you doing, Damon?
Great. Thanks for having me back.
So, Damon, I thought today we could have a bit of an unusual episode where we would bring in two experts to talk about something I think has been on all our minds, particularly during the pandemic, and that is, do we renovate or do we move?
Right. Definitely, I'm not sure I have a lot to offer in this forum as a marketing consultant, but I'm eager to hear it because much like everybody else, I've got a house that just keeps rising in value. And the question is, do I cash out and move somewhere else, or do I stay here and bunker down and keep earning on this one and maybe renovate to make it more comfortable? So certainly eager to hear this debate.
Yeah, I think as entrepreneurs, over the last 2 years, many of us were all working from home. We're kind of on top of each other. It's not just, the home that we live in, eat in, and sleep in. It's now the place where we work. It's now our research facility. It's now our production studio. It's now our, boardroom. And a lot of us are thinking, gosh, do I just, move out of the city and get a bigger space, or should I, stay in the city and just renovate, and make it more comfortable? So I think these are sort of burning questions, but luckily we have two people who are all about answering burning questions. Joining us today, we have Joanne Kupiec, and she's an interior designer and owner of Design Excellence. And we also have Grant Gilmore, who's a real estate professional at Team Gilmore at Remax. Welcome to Pros and Conversations.
Thanks, Peter.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Well, maybe we could just jump right into it and tell us your thoughts on whether somebody should renovate or they should move. Grant, what are your thoughts?
Well, so I get this question a lot. So I'm a professional realtor who people will call me and say, okay, if we renovate, what's our house worth? If we move, what's our house worth? And should we do it or should we not do it? If you don't like the location you're in and your lifestyle is changing and your needs and wants are changing, move. Moving is something that's completely done. If you love your location, call somebody like Joanne and get her professional perspective of what she can do to the house. But most times, and what I see is that people move.
Joanne, your thoughts?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Grant. I totally appreciate that. Hire a professional to help you renovate. Thank you on that one. So I would definitely talk about two different things, because we are truly in the process of selling our home, as a matter of fact. And I think, Grant, the funny thing is you're in the process of renovating. So I think we both sit on both sides of this fence, and it's interesting to talk about. So from my perspective, in terms of why we are moving, it's because we are looking for a different lifestyle. We're going to retire eventually, and husband will be retiring sooner than I. And we want a different location. We're ready to move out of the city and into the country. And so depending on your reasons for moving, moving is definitely a valid choice. Of course, I'm on the side of let's renovate, because that's what I do for a living. And how I would twist that is that it's not always as daunting as you think. Hiring a professional can actually help you through the process and increase the value of your home if you do, in fact, like where you live.
They often talk about this idea of, when you want to renovate, will you get your money back? And I always know that that's been a big thing whenever I've in years past, when I've talked to people, I want to put in a new kitchen or I want to put in a new bathroom, but will I get my money back? In this market, market of insanity, is there anything that you could do to your house that you wouldn't get your money back?
Yes. In a regular real estate market, and people will phone me and they'll say, should we do our kitchen? Should we do our windows? Should we do whatever we need to do? I'll say, as long as you're planning to stay in a regular real estate market, If you're planning to stay, then do it for the next 10 years. Because in a normal real estate market, whatever you do to your home, you can expect 50% of it back if you go to sell right away. In the last 5 years, that is completely out. It's out to lunch. It's been unbelievable. We've had people where I've sold them homes for $900,000. They'll put a $300,000 reno on it, sell it for 1.6. But they have a professional helping them make the decisions to do that. They're not flying by the seat of their pants. In a normal situation, though, I would say to people, if you don't love where you are, don't renovate. Move.
Because you can't renovate your neighbors, Joanne. Right? You can't renovate.
You can't take them out of the equation. They're with you in that house, whether you want them or not. So you're right. If you can't stand your neighbors, you definitely want to get out of there.
But that's a great point, because Joanne, when you did your reno, you did it 10 years ago, roughly 12 years ago. You renovated a home that I believe was a bungalow before, but you also bought in a location that would warrant doing a renovation.
Absolutely.
Right. So no matter what you did to the house, you would get your money back.
And good point. If you are choosing to move, buy the cheapest house on the street in a really nice area and renovate it so that you have all this maneuverability when you do want to renovate and increase the value of your home. So for me, what I've seen with clients' homes when we have renovated, I have seen huge increases in their selling price and over asking. Well over asking in terms of what they are reaping the benefits of when they do renovate. It depends on the quality of renovation that you're looking for. So if you're looking for a builder grade renovation, maybe you're not going to get the money out of it. If you're looking for a luxury grade, people emotionally gravitate to that. They fall in love with that home when you're looking to move. But more importantly, if it functions, if you can create a renovation that's going to function for you and look fantastic, I think that's the key to making sure your family is in a functional as well as a beautiful home. I think that's key.
We hope you're enjoying this episode so far. Pros and Conversations is brought to you by For the Record Productions, providing video production services to corporate and nonprofit clients for over 20 years. To learn more about how we can help your business, visit videosthatmatter.ca. And by the Business Alliance, a professional peer group that helps you grow your business through networking, collaboration, and sound advice. To learn more about how to become a member, visit jointhealliance.biz.
Well, the other part about renovating is it's really stressful. And I would say that 90% of the people that do it won't do it again.
Right.
But I'll bet you those are the people that did not hire a professional to guide them through the process.
I would definitely agree with you on
that. And I deal a lot with those people. So, and a lot of people, if it's a major rental, if you can afford to buy a small investment property to live there while you're doing the reno on your new house, it makes it a little bit less stressful because there's no hurry for the contractors. You're not yelling at your designer because trusses aren't ready or whatever the case may be. If you can afford to do that, then I would highly recommend you that if you're going to go through a major reno.
So I definitely say if you're doing a major reno, 1 floor, 2 floors, move out. Otherwise you're going to hate your life and hate your contractor and designer. If you are, but make your life easier, make it as painless as possible. I would say that repeat clients are 96% of my business. So my clients actually like to renovate. They make money at it. They love where they live. And so they continue to renovate. So it's interesting, the different viewpoints. Whereas Grant, you get the ones that don't like to renovate because they probably took the challenge on themselves, called themselves a contractor, and made a disaster of the place and just can't wait to leave. But if you actually go through the process and have somebody helping you make those decisions, the contractor won't stop working because you haven't made those decisions. A designer will make sure that your renovation stays on track, on target, product is delivered when the contractor is there, so that the job doesn't stop, so that the contractor doesn't walk off the job site. We keep that process moving so that it's easier for clients to, in fact, renovate, so that they don't have to move.
Well, and you're probably the middle person too, right? So if they've got a complaint, they go to you and not to the builder,
Absolutely.
right? So where with me, a lot of people will try to do a reno, make a mess of it, say, this isn't what I thought I was going to be getting at the end product. I'm going to move.
Right.
So you have to make sure my wife watches this podcast because she thinks that I can do all the renovations myself. And now she has to understand that that's a recipe for disaster.
Well, you want to keep your marriage
speaking
going,
about
don't
the cost
you,
of things, that's, yes, I'm going to say yes. Speaking of the cost of things, are you seeing an increase in the renovation costs because of COVID restrictions earlier in 2020 and 2021 that were driving up the price of resources and materials?
Absolutely. Supply chain issues are huge.
Not just material. That's the problem right there.
Supply chain issues have been an issue.
But it's funny. So, right. So I just did a little bit of research because, again, I'm going through a reno. And a piece of wood back before COVID was, call it $3, a 2x4. Then it went up to $10. Then it went down to $4. I have no idea why it went back up last week or the week before. It's not making any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, the cost of material and getting the material is Joanne and I talked about this, call it a month ago, about getting paint.
Mm-hmm. It's critical right now that you're organized and that you have somebody in your court when you are renovating. So for example, our millwork business where we create cabinetry, you're looking at it behind you, cabinetry, kitchens, millwork for your bathroom, millwork for your family room, mudroom. So those are the things. What we're finding is Baltic birch. All your doors are created out of Baltic birch. Well, that is coming from Russia right now. So those things are on hold, on halt. And if you don't have doors right now, that's going to be a huge issue for you moving forward until they move all of the shipments and the contracts over to Spain so that they can create the cabinet doors for you. But we are seeing huge changes in supply chain. Prices are really only available. We try and say, 7 days. We can hold this price for 7 days, but after that, we cannot guarantee what the price is going to be. And the trick is just planning, organizing, and making sure you lock in your price as soon as possible so that your product arrives in a timely manner. And when I say a timely manner, that's why you need to plan a renovation before you enter into it, before your contractor even steps foot in your home. You need to be 4 months out in the planning sessions and ordering your product before you even start breaking ground or starting to renovate, because you won't have product if you don't start to plan. It's critical right now.
I just wanted to bring it back to the entrepreneur and the people that are working from home. So an example, if you have maybe a couple, they're working from home, they're thinking about they need more space. Maybe they should move out of the city. They'll each be able to have their own office, and their children will all have their own room. But the concern is sort of with COVID, right now they're able to work from home. But what happens if 6 months, a year from now, they're going to have to start going into an office, they're going to have to start commuting again. And, there's that, now I'm going to have an hour commute each way. What would be your advice, for people in that situation? Grant?
So for me, I would, if it's possible, 4-bedroom homes are hard to find in the city because a lot of the homes are older in the city unless they're renovated. So if they could find a 4-bedroom home, turn one of those bedrooms into an office. Because I think what's going to happen is in the near future, we're going to go in a hybrid model. We're going to be working 3 days from home, 3 days a week from home, Next week, it's 2 days a week. You're going to be sharing an office with somebody. So you're going to have space at home for an office. I think that's going to be the new norm. So in the city, so let's say in Etobicoke or downtown Toronto, if you can find a 4-bedroom home and turn one of those bedrooms into an office, that's the best scenario. That's what I think is going to be the new norm.
I agree with you, Grant. I think the trick, no matter what, is just to ensure that your home is a functional place to live. And if you can make it look great, or you can't, hire someone who can help you.
And if you're on a lot of Zoom calls, then get a designer to do your background for sure.
That's right. Exactly.
This is my background.
So,
this is my place.
That's right. So in that case, for me as a real estate agent, I would look for a home like that is finished for people who they can actually see the size of the rooms and see exactly what they're getting and know they're going to get it on time of whenever they want to move into it. Right? That makes my life easier when I can actually show somebody, this is what you can have. You can have it today or tomorrow, whatever the day is. And this is what it's going to look like. It's already rented for you. All you have to do is move in and relax.
He makes it sound so good.
It does.
That's a pretty strong argument.
Is, don't forget those land transfer taxes and don't forget those realtor fees. You could put that into a reno.
Yes. Fight.
And the gloves have come off.
Yeah. It just got real.
It just got real. And I think before it comes to blows, this is a great place to end this fantastic conversation. I want to thank Joanne Kupiec, interior designer and owner of Design Excellence, and Grant Gilmore, who is a real estate professional at Team Gilmore, for joining us today and lending us your time and expertise.
You're very, very
Thank
welcome.
you.
It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having
And
us,
thanks
Peter
as-
and Damon.
Yeah, and thanks as always to my co-host, Damon Adachi, who is a marketing consultant with Sevenfold Marketing. I'm Peter Reynolds, and you have been listening to Pros and Conversations. See you next time.